So what's up everybody, this is going to be a video about my thoughts of Black Clover entering its final arc. I'm going to have this video before I do the review for Black Clover 331. I'm still editing, but I wanted to give my opinions of this. It's a mixed feeling because I'm happy that Black Clover hasn't been canceled, but also sad at the same time that the end is in sight. So let's get into this. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, comment. Switch hit me with some false copyright strikes. So let's get this channel back to 5,000. I have a second channel that focuses on One Piece, and I'm going to start applying Boruto. Check out the Discord and Patreon. But yes, the news hit me kind of hard because I was worried that it was going to get canceled. There's a lot of articles saying that the hiatus was indefinite, so I thought maybe Black Clover got canceled. That whole entire day until the spoilers, I was so depressed, to be honest with you. I was really down. I didn't expect Black Clover to come back anytime soon. So I'm happy in a sense. It's just that 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚑 needs his break for those 3 months. But I'm also sad at the same time because we're entering the final stages of the story. And it makes sense that the main villain of the story will be the person that has the title that the main character wants to be. So it's clear that once Asta and I guess Yuno eventually fight Julius, or the fourth 𝚲𝚑𝚙𝚎𝚑 sibling, once he's defeated, they take his title. So it'll be very interesting to see what will happen with that. And I really enjoyed that the main villain is the goal that Asta and Yuno are trying to achieve. I think that's genius. But at the end of the day, I'm sad because like I wanted Black Clover to last a little bit longer. You know, it doesn't have to be up to One Piece status in terms of lengths of manga, but at least 700 chapters would have been amazing, and we were at the halfway point, or at least 60%. But at the end of the day, the fact that 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚑 did say that Black Clover was going to last for basically 3 important arcs, we're not entirely sure if this arc is going to last either 200 chapters or is going to last like 170 chapters or just 100 chapters in general. In my opinion, I think the next arc is going to be something similar to how the first 3 arcs were, where it's going to be an arc, but it's more like a saga, if that makes sense, where we're going to have little mini arcs in the last stretch of Black Clover's story. And the reason why I say that is because even though the Spade Kingdom arc was like a big stretch, but there was a few small arcs in a sense, because there was the training, there was also fighting the Dark Disciples, which is crazy if you think about it, because the Dark Disciples didn't really do much after they were defeated. But I guess at the end of the day, what can they do? Hopefully in the future arc, the Dark Disciples, or basically disciples of the people that are devil possessed, have that power to have minions, because in demonology, if you know, these high level demons can have like legions, basically other demons under them. So I wonder if 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚑 will apply that and he won't forget about the disciples or disciple-like people to the future devil hosts that we'll see in the next arc. But I'm worried that 𝚲𝚑𝚑 is basically forcing 𝚲𝚘𝚑 to rush the Black Clover story, because 𝚲𝚘𝚑 did say at the beginning of the year that the story will start to basically accelerate, and that's what happened. They defeated 𝚲𝚑𝚑. Now we're seeing who the main antagonist is, and at the same time, it's not surprising, but it is too, because I did expect the next stretch of the story to either continue on the story or it being the final leg. Like I was hoping it to continue, but logically speaking, I know it's going to be the final leg of the story. I just don't want the introduction of the dwarves and the dwarf kingdom to be rushed. I'm starting to lean more towards like the Diamond King being a dwarf, because we haven't seen who that person is, knowing that there's dwarves out there and they usually are associated with metal ores. Metal ores have to do with earth. So I just hope that doesn't get rushed because 𝚲𝚑𝚑𝚑 wants to axe this story or want to finish the story as soon as possible, because it's not fair for 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚑 and the fandom, because you know we do enjoy the story, and I understand it's a company. At the end of the day, it's all about sales and they only care about profits, but Black Clover's anime was very profitable. It was one of the top profitable animes. So maybe we might get a continuation of the Black Clover story with the kids. Hopefully that's the case. I would love that. I heard some memes calling it a Great Clover or something like that, but we don't know how the end of this story is going to happen. Like we know it's going to end soon. I give it about maybe 2 to 3 years, depending if 𝚲𝚑𝚑𝚑 wants to push it a lot faster. But I see the story lasting to like 500 chapters. Depending how it goes, we could see the story get a lot more darker. I hope that's the case, because now we're going to see the Trio Cliff-Off Devils that we didn't get to see before. We're definitely going to see like the Devil Kings at their ultimate level. So it would be very interesting if Yuno goes against 𝚬𝚎𝚑 and then Asta goes against Astaroth. I will really enjoy that, because there's a reason why we didn't get to see Astaroth and 𝚬𝚎𝚑. We only saw 𝚬𝚑𝚑𝚑. So I wonder how the story is going to go moving forward. Would the dwarves be rushed? Because I still think there's a reason why we haven't seen them in the series. I think they do have some legitimate bad feelings towards the humans. I'm still guessing that the humans did something similar to the dwarves that the humans did to the elves. Maybe there's a devil behind that as well. That'd be very interesting. And you know, I wonder if a lot of the evil things that happened in the Black Clover world were because of the devil race. If that's the case, it'll make sense because Black Clover has seemed to be that of the Judeo-Christianity influence. But I wonder if the next arc will have Yami's homeland. It kind of hinted that we would see Yami's homeland in the future, but you never know. I wonder if they do have like a little mini arc in that kingdom. Will it be with Yamis potentially having still devil mana or devil properties or ki in him after he just escaped the tree cliff off? So there's a lot of like questions. I definitely want the next arc to answer it because there's just so much mysteries in Black Clover that it will leave a bad taste in the reader's mouth if they don't get answered, because we want Black Clover to feel complete. We don't want it to be rushed, but at the end of the day, we aren't the target audience or the audience that cares in Shueisha's eyes. They only care about the Japanese fans, really. And it kind of sucks though too if you think about it, because there only has been one movie for Black Clover. I hope there's more movies. Maybe we might get another one as the arc finishes, so that way we can have at least 2 of them. But there's so much material in the Black Clover world that I don't know if one major saga or arc can handle all that, because remember, it still looks like passing the Spade Kingdom, there's a whole nother continent, and then there's Yami's homeland, which apparently might be in a whole nother continent as well. There's so many possibilities. Moving forward, I hope 𝚤𝚘𝚅 doesn't drop the ball because he's forced to rush things. That's my biggest concern, is the time that Shueisha is giving him versus the time that he can do things. Because Bleach, the last arc was amazing, but the final fight was horrible. It was complete garbage. We don't get to see Ichigo's new powers because the author was being rushed. That's what sucked, because I wanted to see Ichigo's new powers with his newly defined like Bankai. We didn't get that chance. It was very lackluster, the final fight, and I hope they don't give the same treatment to Black Clover. And if you think about it, Black Clover is basically this generation's of Bleach. That kind of concerns me. I mean, think about it, like basically Julius is Aizen. I'm worried, sad, but I'm also happy at the same time that we're going to get that ending. I legitimately thought Black Clover was not going to have an ending. I thought it was just going to get canceled and we're not going to get anything moving forward. You know, it's happened before where like artists just go on a hiatus and they don't do anything. But I definitely think the next arc is going to be epic. I just hope that there's time to do everything. That's my biggest concern. Hopefully, if the anime and the movie do really good, we can get a continuation with like the next generation of the characters in terms like, because we all know Noelle and Asta are going to end up with each other. Most likely Yuno and Mimosa are going to end up with each other. So hopefully we get to see like something similar to like Boruto with these characters. But knowing how Shueisha is, I highly doubt that there's going to be a continuation with these characters, because even though Black Clover is a profitable franchise, it's not like Naruto. We'll see. Hopefully we get something similar to like the Fairy Tale 1000-Year Quest type of thing. But at the end of the day, we're not Shueisha and we're not the audience that they care about as much. So it is what it is. Just happy that Black Clover gave us this awesome amount of time. It had its ups and downs. It was still fun to read. In my heart, I was hoping that Black Clover could last longer. It doesn't look like the new authors want to last so long for the new gens, because it seems like the amount of health issues that come with a weekly manga causes a lot of concern to the authors. So I'm guessing they don't want to continue the story more than they have to. But yes, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. Let me know what you think about Black Clover getting into its finals arc. Are you sad? Are you happy? Do you want the story to actually last like One Piece? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.